Hi everybody, welcome back to the Our Smiling Faces podcast. Deka, get your pint in the air.
We won, you know.
Get in.
Get in there,
Not
man.
just by one goal.
Get in there.
But we did win by one goal, but we scored 3. You know where I was going.
I said 2-1.
Did you say 3-2?
Didn't I tell you we were going to score more than one goal in a game?
This season.
In a game. Aye. Oh, amazing.
Where do we even start with this one? Normally we're at the point where we're going, where do we start? But I'm excited with this one.
Amazing.
So the team was slightly different, obviously.
I was
Actually,
quite surprised, to be fair.
So Longstaff was
changes.
obviously suspended straight away for 3 games.
That's
So-
the one we expected, Longstaff out and here and straight in, didn't we?
We always thought that Matty was going to keep his space. I think if we're going to be honest here. Obviously, Shelvey came in, a bit more experience alongside Hayden. We've seen that partnership quite a few times over the last few years.
It hasn't always been
hasn't
great,
always
has it?
delivered.
No.
Other changes, was that the only 2?
Aye.
Yeah, it was.
Wasn't
Obviously,
it?
Clark held his place.
Clark stayed in, Fernandez
Fernandez
stayed
kept
in.
his.
No matter what Leroy I said last week, Dubravka kept his place. No.
Dollar wasn't there.
Dollar wasn't there. No, so yeah, you're right.
Can you imagine
Hayden
that?
coming. Well, that's what he said.
Yeah,
You just signed a new 5-6 year contract. Benched.
I sort of went with what was kind of thought. Shelvey was a surprise for me, to be honest.
I think it was a surprise for everybody, wasn't it?
It was.
So the comments on Newcastle United's feed when the starting lineup was announced was what you would expect when you see Shelvey's name on there. So
I
people
just looked
pissing
and
them
went,
more
He's
and
one of
more.
them. He's one of them.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, I think I was shocked. If I was choosing and picking the team, I probably wouldn't have put Shelvey in there, if I'm being completely honest with you.
It's quite harsh on Longstaff, really, when you think about it. He hasn't done anything wrong to warrant him being dropped out of the team. It's obviously been a tactical reason and
I think,
experience, but
I think if you think, I'm only thinking what he might be. You got Sean, obviously. I think you might see Sean as more of the ball player, and Matty just the graft. He's good. He's not bad on the ball. I just mean he does the work rate. He's running around. Then when you bring Hayden in, I'm sure I mentioned this last week. The lack of creativity in midfield did worry us a hell of a lot, and maybe he's thought exactly that.
I just thought it would then allow us to see Hayden that was seen at the start of the season, where he was pushing more forward and stuff
I
like
just
that.
don't think that's him. He doesn't need to do that. He's not that player. Do you know what I mean? I think
He didn't do bad at the start of the season, though, did he?
We didn't create out. You know what I mean?
So the game itself, start well.
Really well.
It's another game where we've started a game well, and
It was very end to end at
it
the beginning as well, wasn't it?
but let's be honest here, for all the pissing and moaning that we've done since the start of the season, that the fans have done over the start of the season, that's probably the best first 45 minutes and the most attacking 45 minutes I've seen for years.
Well, it's funny because we've been saying that like every week.
You're
That's
right.
the best
I agree with
45
you, yeah.
minutes we've had. That's the best half we've put together.
I totally agree.
But 100%, that is the best performance we've put in for
I honestly
a
think
long while.
I think Chelsea away wasn't too much different, We just didn't get the goals, obviously.
It was
But
the
in terms of
chances created,
performance,
wasn't it, West Ham, though?
yeah, of course. I mean, honestly, I was so excited when I was watching them, and I was like, we've actually got something about it for a change. Do you know what I mean? I was honestly, I couldn't stop smiling. That was brilliant, like.
And we've seen it on the Bruce as well, where we go a goal up and we start to sit back a little bit. It was complete opposite. Complete opposite. And like Mark was saying, end to end for the first 45.
Yeah, I think what played into our hands is it allowed us to play counter-attacking football the way West Ham did. So we didn't need to sit back and like almost fall into that default of defending, because the way that they were playing allowed us just to keep hitting them time after time after time.
This is what we were expecting at the start of the season, this counter-attacking football, especially with the front three, especially the three which were playing at the start of the game. That's what we were expecting. We done an interview for, it was Premier League TV, wasn't it?
Yeah.
At the start of the season, we said we're excited by the potential of those three up front and the speed that they have.
Yeah, pace on the break.
And that game was perfect to show that.
Absolutely. Yeah, I've said it for you. That's why I wanted Yedlin back in the team, just for pace. Pace kills, and definitely away from home. It's going to be better for her. I mean, West Ham, you could see, play an incredibly high line. Obviously, that must be their style of play, of thinking, we'll box you in. Well, crack on, because we'll ruin you. In terms of our pace,
To be fair, I think you have... God, I think I'm going to sound like you here, but you have to give Steve Bruce credit for that, because he's even.
I love it how everyone's scared to say that.
Well, they are.
They're scared.
I mean, we'll come on to it, but yeah, I agree with you a little bit.
It's because it just doesn't sound right coming out of your mouth, does it?
But we said at the end of last week's podcast, I said, you need to judge them on tactics, formations, score lines. You don't judge them on shite that's getting hided about in the press. That's what you judge them on. And going by that result in that first 45 minutes, it was a great display.
Yeah.
It wasn't. I thought Wolves was a great display. I still think Chelsea away was a great display. You know, back in the second half wasn't. There has been some promising performances, which is maybe we haven't scored enough goals or we haven't maybe created enough chances. But you know, there's going to be weeks where he's going to get it wrong. Not just him get it wrong. I mean, the players get it wrong. It's just, there's going to be games where you're going to go scratching your head, thinking, Jesus Christ. And then thankfully there's going to be days like there was on Saturday, you know, which are great.
The only thing is, and I guess it's skipping ahead a little bit, is that yes, we did create a lot of chances, but where the chances were falling and stuff like that, we weren't taking them, and it's the people that you're expecting to get your goals
you can't,
that were missing them.
You can't blame that on Bruce at all, though, can you?
Well, you can. I know.
He's not putting his foot on the end of it. He's not putting his head on the end of it.
All I seen a lot after the Wolves game was people saying we've got a manager who won't be able to get them three.
Yeah.
You know, he's tactically inept. He's shite. How is he going to be able to get our front three to create chances? Well, hang on a second. That about 15. But it's not his fault he can't score an open goal or a one-on-one. You know what I mean?
You know why we went and won? It's because he obviously watched last week's podcast where we were talking at length about getting the three closer together and pushing them inside.
The fullbacks.
Deka mentioned the fullbacks and
how much higher were they? How much higher were they?
I want to spit. I know.
Steve, just keep watching. Mate.
Normally on the podcast we would dissect the game in bits and obviously go on the goals and stuff. But a special mention first of all. Me and Dick, I've just sat and watched the highlights again. Williams,
he's brilliant.
He's involved in everything on that pitch.
Well,
He's
unbelievable. He was, you know, he was amazing.
But both sides, yeah, as you just mentioned, Yedlin's came back in and he's just given what we were missing with Kraft, of that just pace and getting forward. Yeah. And we know Kraft was getting into positions occasionally, and because we talked about him having missed chances and stuff like that. But it was just nice to see that the first thought on everybody when they got that ball was, let's get forward, move. And we haven't seen that, because how many times do we see when we get the ball and we just piss about with it and move, and nobody will make any forward movement or make themselves available for the ball? Everybody just wanted to get it and go.
Going back to what you said about Williams, also defensively, he was really sound on Saturday, really sound, and was breaking the ball up quite early. And when he's on the ball, God, he's one of the most comfortable on the ball, to be fair.
It's crazy because you watch him in our box and he seems so strong, and he's winning the balls left, right and centre. He's shoulder barging players, and there's not many players going to take the ball off him if it's obviously a shoulder contest. Get to their box, step overs and everything.
He's not scared.
He's a strange one, isn't he? Because he's built like a... you know, he looks like he's
a bouncer.
He's strong and stuff like that, but he's got that, like, a low centre of gravity, and he's a little bit tricky as well.
Yeah.
Like some of them, because he's pulled out that little back heel flick thing a couple of times.
But that's his trademark
and
move,
stuff
isn't it?
like that, isn't it?
I think it's a tremendous spot by the club, you know, to get him the scouts. Whoever it is that decided to get him. I know it's only on loan.
We tried to get him 2-3 years ago, didn't we? And
Injuries,
it fell through, and he got injured, and...
That's pleasing, because I heard his injury record was poor, and obviously now it's 10-11 games. He seems to be okay, so that's really promising.
So the game itself, like diving back into the game rather than looking at individual players.
Yeah.
First goal. You mentioned last week in the programme, Lascelles was in the programme saying it's not just the strikers that need to score goals.
Yes.
It's the rest of the team.
And also I said last week was, for all we can't create opportunities or chances to score, with set pieces or shit. I mean, dreadful. You know, I really went to town on my set pieces. We've got to be better at set pieces. All the goals were set pieces today. I mean, pretty much. Must be listening. But so the first one, obviously, as you're going into, I think it was Almiron. Oh my God.
Almiron wins it.
Fernandez plays Almiron in, and he skins two players. He's almost in the box, and gets taken.
What did you think about that one at the time? Their player for the foul.
I thought it was a foul. Yeah. I thought it wasn't much in it. I don't think he actually wanted to foul him. He just legs came across him. He ran across him, and
I think if there wasn't another two players, there was another two defenders back them, that it could have probably been a red card.
Well, I think
is that what you're meaning?
Because he was essentially the last man.
Yeah,
there was another two running up here, but Almiron at that point is flying into the corner of the box, going straight for goal. Now the likelihood is he's going to put it in Rose's head.
Again,
though, I know we're criticising for not scoring. who's the person making that forward run? It's him.
Yeah.
You know, Fernandes has the ball, doesn't really have many options. Next thing you know, poof, I'll burn everyone for you, mate, give it to me. You've got to give him so much credit for that, willing to get
But
forward.
that was our first almost one-on-one situation that we had, and if it wasn't for that last-ditch attempted tackle...
He's in.
It's once again the pace of the players that are completely controlling that movement from start to finish. And then, obviously, the free kicks with Shelvey that plays it in.
Shelvey takes it,
It goes over and it's Joe
Plays at
Linton.
the back post to Joe Linton.
Fantastic header back across that.
Yeah.
And Clark, he knows exactly where he's putting that.
It's a hell of a header.
How does he get
Bullet
so
header.
much power? Well up, doesn't he?
So much power. He's almost, it's almost behind him slightly. And the power he generates to get it in the corner. It's amazing.
And the keeper just doesn't move. He hasn't got time to react to it. It's as soon as it's on his head, it's in the back of the net. But
and someone that also deserves credit for the build-up was Joe Linton did very well. He held the ball up brilliantly. And
does he not win it back on the halfway line?
Aye, and then he gives it to Fernandes and then plays Almiron in. And I mean, we'll come on to Joe's performance later, but he did very well for that goal. Sorry, he did very well to start the move, and then fantastically well to head it back across goal for Clark. So
and it was a header.
Two. Well, sorry.
it'll be interesting to see what Deka thinks about Joe Linton this week.
It will be,
Well, we'll get on that. Don't worry about that.
Didn't you agree with that?
But absolutely
totally what we
fantastic
deserved
goal.
as well.
Yeah.
Totally what we deserved.
Controlled it really, didn't we? We looked dangerous from
Really
the
dangerous,
first whistle.
Every time we picked up the ball, I mean, to be fair, they had a couple of chances before we even scored, like from corners. Like there was one where that got stabbed just slightly wide of the post.
Bravka was comfortable with that
but
when he knew it was going out.
But they didn't really look. We didn't really look in trouble at any point.
We really didn't, because we look organised at the back. We really do look organised.
Straight on the second goal, obviously we're all still shocked that we've took the lead here. Second goal and control the game. Let's be honest. And second goal once again, it's Almiron. He's involved once again. It's
over the back.
And it's not just him. This is going to be a podcast where we're just going to be talking about this front three and how dynamic they were together.
Well, that's it, because St. Maximum and Miggy linked up down the left-hand side and worked their way into the box, and then they put it out for the corner.
Lovely ball by St. He sort of flicks it over.
And Miggy just took it and went. And
so Almiron, obviously, he can get that ball, but he knows it's going out for a corner, so he just lets it bounce off the flag. Then it goes out for the corner.
I agree. Yeah.
He does. Then obviously, ball comes in.
No, we'll go short.
No, it was a short corner.
We'll go short.
He made it
goes
short
to someone.
Was it not Williams?
Was it not Williams?
Saint then Williams. It was like a two pass. So when Shelvey to Williams, then
Williams' ball is.
Yes,
the one that we watched. Williams' ball is.
But it's clever as well. And again, and I think this is again the bit where you've got to look at the coaching of the team, because they've obviously looked at because West Ham did this nigh on every time we had a corner. They were very, very fast to try and push out of the box and get out. So they did that, and I think that was obviously the idea behind doing that, which would encourage them to pull out and then deliver it into the box.
I totally agree.
And I mean, it's a fantastic ball, and why the hell the keeper's coming for that, I've got no idea.
Yeah. He's in no man's land.
He's getting nowhere near it whatsoever. But again, credit to Fernandes, he just gets up and plants the header.
Fucking salmon.
But
you in terms of the corner, the some of the defenders are almost at the front post.
Yeah.
Then when they go short, they're all shuffled around the back. Totally planned. That was totally planned from the staff, however. And the keeper, I honestly think when the ball's near the keeper, saying, "Oh, I mean that's going to come towards me," then all of a sudden, actually, hasn't got as much power as he's thinking, and then he's like, "Bloody hell!" And then he's just in the middle of nowhere. So yeah.
But Fernandes' header, it just bounces off the top of his head, and we looked at it before. Clark's celebrating before he's even touched the ball. Yeah. Like Fernandes gets it, and Clark's away celebrating.
Clark's coming in with it as well.
Alongside each other.
To be fair, we got a little bit lucky there because Clark was offside.
Yes,
as the ball comes in, so we're lucky he didn't get involved in any aspect of it, because if Fernandes might have headed it across the Clark to knock in or something like that, then. But what a header, man! Beautiful,
brilliant,
absolutely beautiful.
And again,
just fantastic set move, isn't it?
Yeah. It was, fantastic. Yeah.
This is what I love to see as well. Centre back scoring from those positions.
Absolutely.
How long did we go before without a centre back scoring?
Days, wasn't it?
How long wasn't it?
It went from a corner and stuff. Yeah, and I think set pieces are huge. Honestly, they are huge. You think of the players that we've got. You've got Clark, who we know is good in the air, right? You've got Fernandes, a big lad. Lascelles, a big lad.
That's his second goal this season as well, isn't it, Clark? He scored 2.
Is it this season?
I look at the midfield as well. So if the ball comes back out, I look at the likes of the Longstaff, Shelvey, well, both Longstaffs and Shelvey, that we've seen them bray the ball from outside the box and
they're always there
and hit the target. So I'm comfortable with the ball's coming back out for one of those to hit it.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Going to the other side of the pitch, so we're 2-0 up, and I think it's not long after we score the second when they have the chance.
Yeah.
So the header comes in, and Dubravka sees someone downstairs said that was for the cameras.
Yeah, a couple of people. Yeah.
Dubravka's save is fantastic.
Nah, that was a little bit later on, wasn't it? That came.
So we were 2-0 up.
Yeah, but did that not come? That came after we had the one-on-one chances before that.
To be
as well.
fair, you may be right there. Could be right.
That didn't come till late on in the first half.
Maybe
so we had the one-on-one chances before
with
there.
Saints,
the first
so
one is where there's a.
Is it Williams
to be
again?
fair, both.
That is the first one. Yeah, Hayden's the second one. But yeah.
The both of those one-on-one chances came from West Ham free kicks.
Yes. Now.
So if you watch it, they get the both of them. So we're talking about the first one. It is gets fouled, clears it in, and then I think it's Lascelles heads it to Willems, and Willems just first time
that ball is fantastic.
brings it out, clears that ball.
Saints are weird. Like I mean,
is this one that goes over the top?
No,
goes through the middle.
The one straight
through the middle.
Yeah, through the middle.
It's the one really he should score.
Right, yeah.
He should. He takes it through and
he does all the hard bits. So
he's done everything. He's in the box. All he's got to do is just put it one side of the keeper or the other, and
the keeper doesn't move his feet.
The keeper just stands there and it's straight at him.
It's a poor. It is poor. But
it's disappointing that at the end
we've just looked at it beforehand as well, and the defender that's alongside Saint thinks that Saint's going to take it past the keeper because he starts running as if he's going to go towards the line, and just as he moves, Saint hits the ball then, and it's probably thinking this defender's going to go all the way, and this is the last chance he's got to hit it.
Hindsight, he could have went further. He could have went closer. I actually think he should have went the other side of the keeper that was gaping that way. But
obviously it's his wrong foot though, isn't it?
Again, I was reading the paper there on the way actually here. They were saying that Bruce had been telling them all week about how dangerous they can be on the counter attack in regards to how far them press up on free kicks.
Yeah.
So you're right what you say. Them got a free kick and we're in. You know what I mean? From
one pass. They had Zabaleta as the last man.
Well, he might retire.
How far is he fallen from his days in Man City?
Sissoko's home debut against Ashley Cole and he burned them. Saying against.
He'll be having nightmares about him.
Zabaleta I know he's a canny edge, but he had a fair bit of pace about him, and when he was at Man City.
He's not catching him.
Saint rinsed him for the
it was
entire
just
game.
Time after time after time.
What a player he is.
So the second one is the ball over the top.
Second one is another free kick.
Hayden gets it. Brilliant ball from Hayden.
So Hayden plays it over the top.
He plays it kind of on the volley, doesn't he?
Yeah, I actually think he did very well, Saint, on that one because it's bouncing around. Bearing in mind, he's got players chasing it. He heads it forward, and he needs it for and he's still ahead of the play.
I thought it was going to be one of those where it comes down and it's just like he's trying to get it and it bounces over.
I thought he did brilliantly to get going,
But it just at that last moment just dropped nicely for him just to be able to head it in front of him.
It was a shame that they both were a shame, of course they were. Nobody wants them to score more than me, but. I don't want to. I know we'll get on to it. I just don't want to criticise him too much because again, he has got to be one of the most exciting. I think there's no one in the league, goes past players like he does. Ain't anyone, and Sterling can go past players. But I'm talking really taking the piss out of you. He takes the piss.
I probably agree with you. Yeah.
I don't know another player that can do that.
There's players that are talented that'll happily go around you all day long.
Yeah.
But he excites you when he's running at a player, doesn't he?
Man. He's great, man. Honestly. But sorry, going to the second one. Yes, he's through. A bit of a weak shot.
I think the keeper does better for that one. He forces the keeper into making a save.
Plus there was two right on his arse at that point.
And then he picks the pass across to.
Yeah, what's your thoughts on that one?
So at the time, I think that's the right thing to do because he is at a tight angle. He's got the keeper still there in front of him, and there was a defender there as well, more or less on the line. So he's got to do something special to get that in from there.
I think I'm going to credit him so much because I think him passing in that situation says a lot about him. For all you might think he's a trickster and he doesn't know what he's doing and blah blah blah, for him to be 3 yards out with no goalkeeper, there's a line on the line.
Yeah.
Him to look for a pass there, I think is incredible. I really do.
You've also got to give Almiron credit
because he's not there. Is he really?
He's not there. Yeah. He's not, and
not.
He gets there because one of the players runs in the referee. He's going, foul. You're not getting fouled for that, mate.
I totally missed that at first, and it wasn't until the replay
in the back of the ref,
and then watching it on Match of the Day, and I was like, what the fuck's just happened there?
Mickey's away as well.
Hilarious,
we were obviously downstairs watching it, and of course, when Saint was, twice was through, I was, hard on, man. I was like, this is amazing. And when it come to Miggy, I don't think I've ever wanted a goal, a shot to go in so much.
That moment though reminded us of the Carl Darlow save down in the Championship. The one where he went out to the right hand side and got lost, and then he just flies back across and saved it.
It was a good save. That
how the keeper gets back. But to be fair, it's one of those where the keeper has got nothing to lose. He's just got to try and fling himself and block it in.
It's all hindsight, isn't it? When he come across, you're right, the goalkeeper's already committed himself. If he just stopped, pretended to shoot, keeper's gone. But it's so...
in that moment, with that ball coming in front of you, the only thought in your mind is just to smash that into the
Well,
the
he
back
side-footed it, which surprises. And it was his right foot, it's not his stronger foot. But anyway, again though, the pace is killing them. And
having the two of them, one on either side, and the way that because they were linking up well as well, in kind of, because as was said for the second goal, they were overlapping each other and stuff like that.
I still think that a lot of it, is all Saint. Saint is something else, isn't he? Like, I know I'm going to speak a lot about more of this one, but I absolutely adore him.
Well, I think the thing with Saint is, I think a lot of players are comfortable thinking, if he's anywhere near the halfway line, give him the ball. Give him the ball. He's going to get that ball a lot quicker than what I'm getting there.
He's so.
This will probably come back to haunt me, but I think he's the greatest footballer I've ever seen. because there will be a moment in months to come where I'm sitting here and going, he's a fucking waste of space. He picks this ball up, and he just runs into the corner. He falls over the ball. He tackles himself. But right now at this moment, I think it's the greatest thing in the world.
I'm with you. I just can't stop thinking about him all day. Honestly, I just can't stop thinking about him. I absolutely love him. Honestly, I do.
Let's remember that this player apparently came with a bad attitude.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you're spot on.
And that he was an arsehole in training. He never used to train.
Yeah.
Since he's arrived at this club, he's been nothing but an absolute role model on and off the pitch.
It's strange. The one thing that does ring true about everybody he said though is he's end product. We'll forgive him this at the moment.
I'm never going to criticise him. Honestly, I agree with him. He's the best player I've ever seen.
If he performs like that every week, and we win.
If he performs like that every week, he's going to Paris Saint-Germain in the summer. Barcelona's buying him.
If he had, that's the problem. If he, bang on, he hasn't gone in. But if he had one, he wouldn't be here.
True.
No, he'd be absolute top level, man. There's no, we wouldn't be able to keep hold of him. Do you know what I mean?
There's no way on earth he can continue to play like that every single week.
Impossible, isn't it? Impossible.
But
for now,
so far he's doing it.
We'll take it.
Hey, let's just enjoy it while it lasts.
I absolutely love him,
So other side of the pitch, what we mentioned before.
Mark this day in the diary because this will come back to haunt me.
We'll just put them side by side.
Next Saturday.
So Dubravka's save. So from the header in.
There was the overhead kick before that, wasn't it?
Yeah, down his throat.
Yeah.
That one.
It's the header,
which cracking.
For the criticism he had, and probably rightly so, some of the mistakes he has made over previous weeks, but that save is top draw in it.
Yeah.
Top draw.
I don't think it's going in.
I think it is.
He doesn't know it's not going in.
I think it's hitting the ball.
I think it's in.
He doesn't. He's got to make sure that doesn't even hit the ball.
His spring to get there is amazing. It's a great series at an important time because it was still 2-0. That would have made it 2-1 before half time. You know what I mean? But it's a fantastic save. And in fairness, for them being the home side, I actually feel that was the only real attempt I can remember. In the first half, in the first hour maybe.
So quickly going through some
more
things.
Before that.
Well, Shelvey's
that's what I was going to say. Quickly more. So Shelvey hits the ball. Fantastic strike. Another one.
It's like Chambers in the
outside the foot. He flicks it with the outside of his foot, doesn't he?
It's like a fucking paintbrush, man. The replay from behind the goal, the technique in it is unbelievable.
This is a performance that we've been craving from Shelvey. I said at the start of the season we need to see more from him, and this is what I'm expecting from him.
Well, it's these performances that drive you up the wall with him, though, because he can do it. The problem is he only does it once in a blue moon.
It was defensively as well, though, because Almiron was down on our side, right, where Yedlin normally is, and Shelvey just comes out of nowhere and clatters a player and wins the ball.
Well, he did first half.
Well, this one won the first half.
You know how big of an advocate I am of him, and I've admitted that he shouldn't be in the team recently, and that's fair. But the reason why I think he's the most intelligent player we've got, I still believe on the ball he is the most intelligent player. And you could see He wasn't playing Hollywood balls on Saturday, which I thought
no.
was great. It was short 5-6 yard passes that were quick, getting in great areas. His work rate was brilliant. I mean, the free kick for the first goal was excellent to find Joe Linton. He scores a cracker. Like, it's an all-round... Sorry, I know, but I'm just saying, it's an all-round unbelievable performance for him. But as Mark says, it's one in every 7-8 games. Yeah. You know what I mean? Can we get consistency out of him? I don't know, but I don't know. For me, you can see what he can bring. And can we get that out of him?
When he is like that, there's not much, not many better than him. But
no, there's not.
That's the problem that we've got.
The last time he played like that was against them at home. We're going back a long time, and I agree. He needs to do more. But let's just judge Saturday for Saturday. And on that game, he was absolutely tremendous. I really thought he was on. Ran the show. Declan Rice, shite. He absolutely ran
I think that the difference that we'd seen him in this game was he was a lot more attack-minded than he has been for the last 3 seasons.
Do you not think Shelvey plays better in a team that's doing well? Obviously, we started the game
We've
really
said
well
that so
there.
many times, haven't we?
If it had been reverted the other way, where we were beating high back against our own goal, do you think it would have been a little bit different from the product you get from Shelvey?
It's when the chips are down is when he goes and he's huffing, he starts sulking and moping around the pitch, isn't it? And then he starts
either way, that
trying
didn't
to
happen.
flick the ball around.
That didn't happen.
I will say, I thought Hayden was incredible, and I thought Hayden allowed Shelvey to be able to have that bit of, what I mean? Hayden was winning the ball early, and Hayden was doing what I love him to do. Just destroy somebody and pass it 5 yards.
It's almost that role reversal with the two from what we've became used to recently of Shelvey being the one sitting and Hayden having to do all the running around. It went the other way, and I know, like I've said it plenty of times, I don't think Shelvey's got the legs to do it. Certainly in that first 60 minutes, he did. I think he then started to blow a little bit after that. He hadn't played
5 weeks, hadn't he? 5
exactly,
games, so
you've got to remember, if you've got Joe Linton on, Sel Maxman and Almiron, they've got the legs. Shelvey doesn't need the legs. Just sit calmly where you're supposed to in the middle of the pitch. Let those do the leg work for you.
And I've said it for a long time when we had these 3, or certainly the 2 wingers, is I'd love to see Shelvey on the pitch to show, to find their movement and their runs and stuff. I'm sure that'll work at some point. I think with Shelvey, I feel that no matter how well he plays, he's not suited to every style of game. Does that make sense? I think there's certain games where the game plan was, in this one, was for him to try and play these quick passes or use his intelligence. There's other games where you wouldn't play him because you'll want an engine room in there. You want to work harder. I don't know.
He's not going to be a player whose name's first on the team sheet. He's going to be someone who's cherry picking certain games.
I honestly, the problem you've got though, the problem you have is when he plays as well as he did on Saturday, he has to play next week.
Yeah, of course he does.
I just feel that he's more like what you're saying. What I'm meaning is that there's certain games where you can think, right, if we play Shelvey this week, he can exploit them in this way. But when you're playing away from home against a different opposition, you might want real engine in there, so he gets dropped. I don't know. It's horses for courses. Do you know what I mean?
I think if you're going to use him, you've got to, I think, bringing him on at the start of the game and using him that way, because if you bring him on at the end, that's when it then almost forces him into having to just try and play those Hollywood balls and try and, he tries and does everything himself, and whereas if you give him the start of the game, the first half or something like that, and then once he starts tiring, then you swap him out and bring somebody else in.
So we'll fire through the second half, because obviously the second half was less eventful than what we saw in the first half. Second half, obviously, like I said, we'll go through this as quick as possible. Shelvey's goal, so the free kick.
Yedlin has one.
So the disallowed goal.
Yeah, just as well,
He's got loads of time as well. Yeah. Loads and loads of time. And
just
well though, doesn't it?
Good save from the keeper for the first one.
From the B up there. He was a fullback. He bombs in from nowhere on the right hand side. And for all of the end product comments about Saint, it's Saint's header first, and then he had Saint's ball of him's absolutely perfect, which he plants a header on. Great save.
QR parries it.
But again, it's into that position where the defenders are steaming out. There's an acre of space in behind them, and they just hit it into it.
Well, I tell you again, I think we discussed it. I don't know if it was via text or maybe last week. I can't remember. About the front 3. Almiron, if you see it again, Almiron, who's right wing, is right next to Joe Linton, which brings Cresswell across to follow Almiron, and then Yedlin comes up, and it's the same thing we talked about the other day about getting Almiron to come more central in certain situations, to come more central, which then allows there's obviously going to be loads of space there, and with Yedlin's pace, obviously you can exploit that. So it was unlucky. I mean, he was a fraction off. Would have been 3-0. Then the third goal comes anyway.
Yeah.
And going on to that one, going back to Hayden. Hayden wins the ball early, at the halfway line, gets fouled.
Snodgrass and
So
That's right, yeah.
I'm worried sometimes when we get a free kick, because I'm worried to the point of it's a bit pointless, a free kick, because I don't think anyone's there to deliver that ball the way it needs to be, or hit it on target and score from a free kick.
You're missing Richie in those situations, aren't you?
Because I'll go even further back. I'll probably say Kabai's the last one I felt confident we're getting a free kick and you thought we'll
Richie
score.
scored a fair few.
I've never been massively confident. I think the last one is Kabai, where I've thought
The chance.
if we get a free kick there to the box, it's as good as having an open chance.
What is funny, I do think Shelvey, I don't know, when I think of Shelvey, honestly, in terms of like his passing and stuff like that, and his corners, I think if we get that range, I think Shelvey should be better here. Do you know what I mean? I feel like he should be better, but he never delivers, ever. Well, like apart from Saturday.
But we can say that about a lot of them, because like even Richie, like his corners. How many times have we seen him hit the first man?
Yeah.
But it's not just him. It's
everyone.
nigh on every
Longstaff's been doing the last few
every
weeks.
goal kick, every corner taker that we've had going back years and years.
Did not happen
has
against
always struggled
Wolves
to do that.
last week. Did Longstaff not take 2 corners?
Oh, terrible.
Both of them hit the first man. Then the third one he played it short.
Then the only one that's in the recent is Key. Key's the only one that actually can seem to get the ball into the box.
Yeah.
So the goal itself, though, how far out is he?
35 yards, you know. So, I know the keeper should do better.
Uh-huh.
I don't know, like
He gets
If
in,
you watch
doesn't
it
he?
again, he gets his hand
do you
on
see?
it.
Do you see how wide the?
I know.
Like, you've got to give Shelvey a hell of
I
a
am,
lot of
I am,
on
100%.
because
I am.
That's the Bradka. I'm unhappy that he hasn't
If
seen
a
that.
goalkeeper gets a hand to the ball,
Full hand as well.
it's
Got to see
the the person I'm looking at there, and that is
Whoa.
Declan Rice.
right.
So if you watch him,
80
he
million
jumps up
pounds,
and he bends out of the way.
Is he on
He
the side
ducks.
of the wall? Because
He's on the left. He's on the very left hand. He half turns his back, and as the ball's coming, he ducks underneath it.
What I think was great about the free kick is for the distance you're out, sometimes it can be too high. Does that make sense? Given the keeper ball, it's actually quite
That's what I'm
low
saying.
in that. It's quite low.
He didn't get it up and down. He got it
It's good.
around.
And it had a bit of pace on it as well. I thought it was a fabulous. It's a fabulous free kick to be able to hit the target right in the corner. In fairness,
But when you
there
see
was
it from there's an angle from behind the goal, and it literally comes like the goal's here. It comes
Goes
around
out and
like
in,
that, and then back in.
And,
So
I mean, we're 3-0 for Christ's sake after an hour away from home. It's incredible.
and the worst thing is, it could have been 5 or 6.
It could have been 5 or 6, and it wouldn't
In the
be.
first half.
It wouldn't have been unjust, would it, as
no,
well?
no.
It wouldn't have been unjust, and I think.
But
I mean, you know.
In
and
typical
I said it,
Newcastle
and I
United,
said it at the time. I was like,
You put in the
unless I
WhatsApp
say
group, didn't you?
these missed chances are going to come back to haunt us, and
Well, it nearly did.
nearly.
So at what point did you start shitting yourself?
3-2.
Aye.
Yeah, I did. I really did. And
When the second went in, I went.
And do you know what it
man.
is? Them did not deserve to be.
Nah.
Well,
Didn't even
they did.
deserve to score one.
They didn't deserve to be.
When
3-2.
when they got that first goal, their tails were straight
Obviously.
up, and then they just started lumping everything, and it was like
Yeah, we're living dicey.
but we still looked in control, and then it was the second, which again it was a
Fantastic
very
goal, the
very
second
good
one.
finish, but
Well, first of all, the first goal that them score is probably Shelvey's fault in terms of the front post. He should have went with his head, but he goes with his foot. Then after that, there's 4
Like
players
deflects off Shelvey, doesn't
can't mark one player. But that's one. It is what it is. It's a sloppy goal. Fair enough.
Dubravka parries it out.
Yes,
and it
and
just
then
lands
it's just
there.
there.
I don't think it's Dubravka's fault.
touches it.
No,
he
he
does.
does.
He
He
parries it out.
Because
because I thought like it just seemed to come, as you say, I thought Shelby was a little
Yeah.
bit lazy at the near post. He
went like
kind
with
of
the
half
head,
attempted
yeah.
to get at it, and I just thought it came straight through, and he was there and just
not Dubravka can't do anything. Like, there's
Yeah.
nothing he can do more.
Dubravka touches it, but the player's already running and goal. Just lazy hits off him.
just puts
Yeah,
it
and
in.
goes in.
I still thought we were incredibly dangerous on the break, even though them were really pushing on. Almiron, to chat about him for a second, the guy's energy, like he runs the same quickness as if it's the first minute. I mean, it was 80 odd minutes, and he's still bombing past everybody.
Do you know
Absolutely,
what that
amazing.
kid?
He's
to keep,
unreal, isn't he?
like,
He's so
Batteries.
It's like
He's so
he is the ever
Not like
Duracell
double
bunny,
A's,
isn't he?
like the big chunky
Chunky
fat
ones.
ones that you need in like the Hot Wheels stuff, the massive fat ones.
And then what the D's or C's or something.
These, I think, are the ones that you need like in a CD player if you take it out.
Oh, aye.
Big fuck off ones.
Listen to one trap in the
square
cylinder.
ones with the 2 massive springs on the top.
Car battery. Not even fork of his car battery.
But then the second one come, and I was shitting myself. And Atsu should definitely do better, which we've talked about, I think.
Well, Miggy got another one-on-one, didn't he, just before they scored that?
That's when he gets the 3 players
which
on
is
him.
where
He should have took it to the corner.
One-on-ones maybe is a bit harsh, but
He should have took it to the corner. Like, the clock's ticking down.
Yeah.
You should have just took it to the corner, because we're either going to get a corner, a free kick, or a throw-in out of that
but
one.
if he rifles that in...
Exactly.
Being honest, I agree that I think he should have took the corner at the time. But when you see it again, he's on the edge of the box. It's actually the lads give him an opportunity to have a go. The defender's almost saying, "Listen, if you're going to score, you have to shoot now, mate."
Yeah.
And he does it. Well, now, fair enough.
It's a game where he's full of confidence as well, because we're running riot, weren't we?
I thought Saint should have come off earlier. To be honest, I thought in the second half he was flagging a bit. But the reason he's flagging is because he's running 100 miles an hour for 60 minutes, and that's fair enough. Obviously, clearly, he's not going to be an Almiron style player. Yeah. Almiron can just burn, and not many players can do that. I thought when Atsu would come on, I thought he did really, really well. Honestly, I did. I thought it was a great sub. I thought he played excellent, except that one bit with Snodgrass. And I don't want to really...
Bit lazy, wasn't it?
It was a hell of a finish, like. It was a hell of a finish from Snodgrass, like, to be fair. And that shit myself then. I'll be honest, I was absolutely shit myself. I was like, because while I'd played so well, I would have been devastated if I'd have thrown that away.
No.
Like, devastated. I never thought we were going to lose the game, but drawing that game would have felt like a loss.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
would have, 100%. 100%.
I think that once they got that second one, that almost like jolted them into action, because then they then start like we then switched back on and got back to just defending, hitting them on the break, playing with the ball, being a bit more clever in possession of it and stuff like that as well.
I thought Williams was very, very good, towards the end. More and more times on his left side was winning the ball in dangerous areas, but he was also finding a shirt. Yeah. He wasn't just winning the ball and clattering it away. He's winning it and then bang, finding Atsu and whatever. But I also thought I go back on to Joe Linton now. I thought Joe Linton was brilliant. I thought Joe Linton did everything that I was on about last week in regards to really, really putting yourself about. And I thought he led the line really well.
He wasn't even a footballer last week.
No, he wasn't. But hey, I only call what I see. What did he play like that last week?
At times.
Was the service any different?
Oh, aye.
Bollocks.
How many times did we play it into his feet to hold the ball up and stuff? I didn't see one ball where we lumped it up to him and
I thought we were going to go through a full podcast with you two, like having a little debate about something.
Well, I haven't even mentioned Shelvey's defending for the second goal.
I didn't think there was much difference in terms of service. I just think he was strong as fuck.
I just think it was different.
It was more like a Tottenham performance.
We weren't pumping the ball up to him to try and get a head on it and hold it up that way. We were playing it into his feet, allow it to come and collect it, play it in the other players that went. What we basically talked about last week.
I think the ball was working its way up the pitch rather than getting lumped up the pitch.
I mean,
but he was coming, like we said for the goal, he was coming to the halfway line to get it, holding players off, then turning and then playing them in, which is what his game is.
Well, I don't know. That to me is a target man. I think that's almost like he's holding the
ball. He's pumping it up to him, isn't it? And
I think he held the ball up very, very well. His touch was better. He was getting players involved better. I think that's a front man leading the line. Sadly, on the other side is poor lad didn't have a chance. I mean, literally did not have a chance. Yeah. Every single time we're talking about these exciting moments, except the first goal he did brilliant. That's a set piece. I'm expecting him to be in the box there. You think of all the exciting moments we're talking about, I cannot remember him being in the box on any of them. Now I'm not having a go at it. I'm just saying it's a shame.
He was there with Almiron's towards the dying minutes. He was in the middle of the box there.
I mean, seeing so damn fast, I mean, you probably can't keep up with them.
How am I getting up there, mate?
I'm just thinking in regards to all of the, I mean, even the Fernandez goals, I mean, all of it, I can't recall him being in the box.
For those, it's because, obviously, we were defending a set piece. Wasn't it?
Fair
So
comment,
he's in
yes.
The box
Fair
trying
comment.
to clear it out and then get away on the break.
It is a shame out of all the exciting attacking that we did. I mean, saying, I'm really sorry. The first half, cut inside and bent it. The keeper did a great save.
Oh, I wouldn't even talk about that.
That was a lovely save. Yeah. All of the exciting attacking stuff we didn't fashion a chance for him.
Yeah.
But I am not taking that away from his performance because he led the line superbly well. He really, really did, and I was really impressed with him. I really was.
But so, I just think that is more of his game, and what we should be doing is using him as a link up in
so
playing.
If you've got to put a man of the match on this one, let's see if we agree on this one. I've got a feeling we're going to have three separate here.
It wouldn't surprise us, like
Miggy for me.
You're going Saint on you.
No, I'm not actually. No, I'm not. It's funny. I was really drunk on Saturday and I was just kicking off everybody. I was on Twitter. I was just not happy.
On Twitter?
I wasn't.
We're just in a pub kicking over people.
No.
He was moaning because I mentioned Shelvey, but he was the one that brought him up.
I think his reply was "fuck off," fuck right off.
I wasn't happy with a lot of people actually on Saturday, but I actually said Miggy was man of the match, but I'm gonna have to give it to Shelvey. Like,
so I'm gonna go someone else. I'm going
Kieran
Williams.
Clark. Oh,
fair enough.
Williams, yeah.
Not bad shout.
I thought Clark was fantastic as well. Like,
amazing.
Fernandes was great as well. Like,
I think Bruce,
especially when it's Yedlin as well, because Yedlin had a decent game as well.
there's nobody that you can
Unreal.
like pick out and
Dummett
was the worst player. Only because he came on for about 3 minutes.
Well, Carroll was shite. Like, he couldn't shout a bag of sand. But anyway, besides
I forgot he came on.
Bruce's decision to drop Dummett off that Leicester game and bringing Clark in has been absolutely... What a call that's been, you know. What a call.
We love Fernandes as well, don't we?
Love Fernandes.
I've always liked him.
He's fabulous. He really is fabulous. And he'd take his goal away. He's class. He's a real class actor.
He's just so calm and...
experienced in it.
He's mint.
Yeah.
Right, let's end on there. Thanks to Guillermo Clothing. Thanks to GEORDIE Guest for sponsoring the podcast. We're off to have some cans because there's a takeover coming.
Oh,
I guess not.